in a little-known corner of the brain, which is possibly preventing your vibrations and energy from rising and preventing you from bringing those desires that you have tried to manifest for so long into reality. Finally, today you will get the scientific explanation of why your manifestations are not working. You may be missing 1% of the information that I am about to give you today. The amazingly powerful technique to raise your consciousness and release your bioenergy is the missing ingredient of what is commonly known as the law of attraction. Something that the famous physicist and mathematician, Albert Einstein, identified more than a century ago, and claimed was the key to understanding how the universe worked. This brief presentation will be highly controversial, as it will test many of your beliefs, by showing you things that you did not see as possible before. Things that science, and even the CIA, demonstrated in 1983 based on fundamental principles of modern physics, quantum mechanics, and neuroscience. Information that could be the revelation of the century. At this moment you may be wondering who I am. This is not as important as what I am willing to share with you. But for now, you can call me Arthur. I am 68 years old, and my story begins on the day my wife decided to take her own life. The memories of what happened after I found her in the bathtub are quite confusing. For 2 years I suffered from chronic depression, and during a nervous breakdown, I also tried to end my life. So I had no choice but to go somewhere where I could find healing for my pain. Something that would end up embarking me on a spiritual journey to Khazar Devi, a Buddhist temple located between Nepal and India. I don't know if you knew this, but Khazar is everything but a commonplace on Earth, mainly because it is located on the Van Allen belt. This belt is a region of the Earth where large amounts of charged energy particles are concentrated, which surround the Earth's electromagnetic field. According to several scientific articles and even NASA itself, these places become ideal for raising the body's energy vibration by synchronizing our own frequency with that of the Earth, allowing elevated states of consciousness. That's why I chose Khazar as my place of spiritual healing. To my surprise, the first thing I saw when I arrived were mobile NASA research camps. According to the locals, this place has been the subject of experiments for decades thanks to the fascinating mystery surrounding its electromagnetic fields. I remember that 7 scientists, blonde and tall, between 45 and 53 years old, were housed in the camps. These people were quite cold and sharp. They only spoke among themselves and were hardly seen sharing with other people. One day while we were doing a meditation practice near their camp, the main monk invited the scientists to participate in a partner exercise. They accepted, and by chance of fate, I had to do the exercise with one of the scientists. The exercise had to do with the most painful moment we had gone through in our lives. To our surprise, we both coincided in having lost our wives under quite tragic conditions. It was so emotional for both of us that we created a bond and became great friends from that day on. For security reasons, I cannot expose the name of that scientist, but in this presentation, I will call him Charles. During my 3rd month in Khazar, my anxiety attacks returned and I felt that being there was not working for me. Despite being in a magical place, I still felt pain in my soul. Charles told me that not all methods work for everyone. Possibly meditation wasn't for me, but there could be another way to help me, so he took some headphones out of his pocket, played a melody and told me to listen to it. Just by listening to 7 minutes of these frequencies, which were quite strange and somewhat robotic, was enough to calm me down all day. For 23 consecutive days, Charles made me listen to these sounds day and night, and the change that it produced in me with just 15 minutes a day was strange. I began to have very vivid intuitions, as well as out-of-body experiences while meditating. Insomnia and anxiety attacks disappeared, which allowed me to start seeing life as a gift instead of torture. My only rational explanation for my change was the audios that Charles had shown me. After 5 months, Charles finally decided to reveal the secret behind these frequencies. He confessed to me that his research in Khazar was not based on a simple exploration by NASA, but on finishing an investigation that the CIA had initiated in the 1980s. An investigation that had been archived and discarded as a national security secret by former President Ronald Reagan. This investigation contained such a certain truth that NASA and the new government decided to unarchive it to continue studying it. Since Khazar was a breach of the Van Allen belt, it became a perfect place to study how the electromagnetic field, vibrations and frequency affect the corporal, cerebral and spiritual physiology of human beings. This is the moment in the story where I am about to reveal to you the secret that can change your life. In the 1970s, during the height of the Cold War, the U.S. intelligence agency began receiving information that the Soviet Union was developing a new and powerful weapon against them. The Soviets started recruiting men and women who claimed to have extrasensory perception abilities to help uncover military intelligence secrets of the enemy. Faced with the potential threat posed by the Soviet Union, U.S. intelligence agencies began deploying a similar offensive. In 2017, the CIA declassified 12 million pages full of records revealing details of the hundreds of projects and research related to extrasensory perception and espionage. When the program was shut down in 1995, the psychics known as remote viewers had participated in many secret operations, from locating hostages kidnapped by Islamic terrorist groups to tracking fugitive criminals within the United States. Many of these experiments had no real results and were a waste of money for the U.S. government. Despite the challenges, there was one project that demonstrated authentic and remarkable results. Surprisingly, for reasons still unclear, the U.S. government opted to archive it. This enigmatic project, which would change the way we understand the spiritual world, was called Project Gateway. The Gateway Project was a revolutionary training initiative that synchronizes brain waves between the left and right hemispheres. Its mission was bold, to transform and elevate consciousness beyond the physical, freeing it from the chains of time and space. Increasing the strength, amplitude, and frequency of brain wave output by synchronizing both hemispheres. If these principles could be mastered and applied, trained agents or individuals under this system could obtain information or perceptions beyond conventional capabilities, transcending geographical and temporal barriers. In the context of espionage, this could translate into the ability to access remote locations or information in a way that would not be detectable or interceptable by traditional methods. This would lead agents to interact with non-physical dimensions of reality, in turn unleashing feats and astonishing results, from converting energy to heal the body, manifesting goals, enhancing cognitive abilities, and even having out-of-body visions of the future. When Charles explained this to me, I didn't understand anything. So, I don't blame you if you feel the same. According to the CIA, practical uses of the technique included manifesting goals, converting energy to heal the body, and even out-of-body visions of the future. This research remained in the shadows for over 20 years before being revealed to the public. To read the research, it's as easy as going to Google. Type CIA Reading Room in the search bar, the official repository where the CIA stores its most relevant documents. Click on the first link that appears. Go to the search bar and type Gateway Experiment. Then, click on the first article that appears. There, you can witness 29 pages that unravel revolutionary techniques linked to vibration, the human energy field, brain synchronization, and goal manifestation. At that moment, I asked Charles why, if this is so revolutionary, I had never heard of it in the past. What Charles explained to me is that this experiment is quite complicated to understand, as it deals with topics related to classical physics, quantum mechanics, cymatics, and neuroscience. The report on the Gateway Project was drafted by Lieutenant Colonel Wayne M. McDonnell, a distinguished officer of the U.S. government. In 1983, the colonel was granted the crucial task of investigating the mysteries behind the synchronization of brain hemispheres, astral projection, out-of-body experiences, and manifestations, all with the strategic purpose of advancing in the field of espionage. In these modern times, the task may seem far-fetched, however, in the context of the Cold War, it made a lot of sense. According to the CIA, the process for synchronizing brain hemispheres and achieving these elevated states of consciousness was as follows. The brain operates at a beta frequency when fully awake, and at a theta frequency when sleeping. If a subject is presented with a frequency similar to their brain waves, researchers can trick the brain into switching from beta to theta. HemiSync introduces a frequency in the left ear that is 10 Hz higher than that introduced in the right ear. When hearing both different frequencies, it tries to stabilize this at a single level. As soon as the heartbeat frequency is reached, along with the HemiSync sound, the left hemisphere relaxes, and the subject enters a virtual sleep state, while aligning brain patterns in both hemispheres. This allows the human being to change their own consciousness. The virtual sleep state also reduces a person's heart rate, while increasing the frequency of brain wave output. According to McDonnell, this creates a vibratory system throughout the body that synchronizes with the Earth's energy continuum. A frequency between 6, 8 and 7, 5 Hz. Elmer and Alice Green, leaders in biofeedback and scientific consciousness research, conducted studies showing that people with 20 years of Zen meditation training could establish hemispheric synchronization at will, though generally for no more than 15 minutes. In contrast, through the frequencies developed in the Gateway Project, individuals with no prior meditation experience achieved and maintained such synchronization for 15 minutes or more. Charles confessed to me that the reason NASA was in Quasar is that it was seeking to revive the Gateway experiment. According to them, Quasar could be the key to understanding, once and for all, how to access non-physical planes of reality. The frequencies of the Gateway experiment were indispensable for NASA. Because, according to them, if the hemispheres are not synchronized, it is difficult to elevate consciousness. Only when the brain synchronizes its hemispheres and creates that vibratory system, which synchronizes the body with the Earth's frequency, can the results reported by the CIA be observed. The CIA would find the foundation for the development of HemiSync in a key study, the split brain experiment conceived by Roger Sperry. This study managed to change the history of neuroscience, opening a new horizon in our understanding of the human brain, showing that two brains that think differently cohabit in our head. This astonishing discovery earned Sperry the prestigious Nobel Prize in Physiology and Medicine. These studies evidenced the cases of people who had undergone a callosotomy, an intervention that divides the brain hemispheres. The results of dividing the brain hemispheres demonstrated that we have two brains in our head that behave and act differently. One of the most intriguing cases is that of the rebellious hand and the patient named VG. Weeks after VG's brain hemispheres were separated, her hands began to act seemingly independently of each other. On one occasion, while VG tried to select a garment with one hand, the other hand intervened and selected a different one. This phenomenon highlighted the striking independence of the brain hemispheres when disconnected, offering an unusual glimpse into the divergent personalities of each hemisphere. Another curious case is the patient who, after surgery, experienced a particularly disturbing incident. One hemisphere controlled a hand and showed aggression towards his wife, while the other intervened to defend her, revealing a literal physical struggle between the two halves of his brain. These episodes where his hands seemed to have separate wills, manifested the duality in the desires and motivations of his isolated brain hemispheres. In the world of art, an individual subjected to this brain division created drawings that showed a marked duality. One side of the paper displayed a colorful and friendly character, while the other side showed a dark and somber character, graphically and forcefully reflecting the surprising autonomy of each hemisphere, illustrating how each can harbor remarkably different perceptions and emotional expressions. These studies evidence the inherent problem of the desynchronization of our brain hemispheres, which results in altered psychological states, such as anxiety, depression, stress, and procrastination, limiting our spiritual being. Procrastination can be understood in light of these studies as an internal struggle between two entities, two brains that think differently. One hemisphere, possibly driven by logic, instigates action and productivity, while the other, perhaps guided by impulse and the desire for immediate gratification, resists. This internal conflict results in procrastination or a lack of action. If you've ever felt the obligation to do a task and something internal drives you to execute it but another part resists, these were your hemispheres competing with each other. Usually, there is one hemisphere more dominant than the other. This is an everyday example of how the lack of coherence and synchronization between our hemispheres can obstruct our path towards goals and self-realization. Likewise, the dissonance between the hemispheres can play a crucial role in anxiety, depression, and stress. The part of us that longs for relief and serenity may be in conflict with another that, for various reasons, clings to self-destructive patterns of thought and behavior. The lack of alignment and communication between these two brain entities results in paralysis, a state where the desire to heal is perpetually sabotaged by a counterpart that is not synchronized with those same goals. Freud's psychoanalytic theory years ago held a similar concept, stating that three personalities coexist in our brain. The first, driven by the pleasure principle, seeks immediate satisfaction. The second operates according to social norms and values, and the third acts as a mediator between the first two. An illustrative example of this concept is found in The Simpsons. When Homer faces a decision, a devilish figure appears to his right side urging him to give in to his impulses and desires, while an angelic figure emerges on his left side, urging him to act according to norms and values. Ultimately, it is Homer who intervenes to balance these two positions. This intrapsychic struggle could be conceptualized as a struggle between good and bad longings that guide our behavior. Often, this intrapsychic struggle between the three personalities can trigger emotional and psychological conflicts manifesting as symptoms such as depression, anxiety, stress, and, in extreme cases, suicidal thoughts and acts. According to the Gateway Project report, to overcome emotional conflicts and reach states of fullness, gratitude, and tranquility, it is essential that both personalities of the brain hemispheres synchronize and work in harmony towards the same emotion or intention. The explanation I just offered could clarify why certain psychological therapies are not effective. Often, these therapies focus on treating symptoms, such as emotional discomfort, without addressing the possible underlying cause, which is the desynchronization between the brain hemispheres. Sperry's studies on the dual personality of the brain hemispheres, to some extent, validate Freud's theory. Proposing that reaching states of fullness, gratitude, and tranquility becomes complicated if both brain hemispheres do not harmonize in the same emotion or intention. Another argument for why you need to synchronize your brain hemispheres in the same frequency immediately relates to visualization and manifestation. If the two consciousnesses present in our brain hemispheres are in a constant state of disagreement or disconnection, the clarity of our desire, intention, and purpose become clouded. If each hemisphere projects different desires and intentions to the universe, the signal we emit is confused and contradictory, blocking our ability to manifest effectively. This might be the explanation for why many people who have tried methods of attraction or manifestation have not succeeded. This is the secret those who wrote the famous bestseller, The Secret, forgot to mention. If you've ever tried these techniques and they didn't work, don't worry, it wasn't your fault it didn't work for you. They were the ones who didn't take into account the nature of our brain. This is also the explanation for why people who have tried to attract certain situations or elements into their lives end up wrongly manifesting what they did not desire. Therefore, if you want to manifest correctly and effectively, you should never do it again without synchronizing your hemispheres, as the probability of failure and unintentionally attracting negative situations into your life significantly increases. The potential of HemiSync is based on harmonizing the brain's electromagnetic waves, balancing them in amplitude, intensity, and frequency. This facilitates coherent communication between our two brains, or two consciousnesses, eliminating internal blockages and conflicts. By synchronizing with the Schumann frequency, which is the Earth's electromagnetic resonance, the body's bioenergy is released, facilitating the states reported by CIA agents participating in the Gateway Project, such as remote viewing, mental coherence, goal manifestation, and bodily self-healing. What I am telling you, Charles had to explain it to me over several days because this kind of information requires time to process. So I don't judge you if you feel overwhelmed right now. To finish my story with Charles, the biggest lesson I learned from him is that people fail to raise their consciousness and manifest what they want in life because they have their energy mechanisms blocked. How do you expect to transmit vivid manifestations to the universe if your hemispheres are not synchronized, if you do not vibrate with the frequency of the earth, if you do not know how to raise your consciousness, or if you have an atrophied pineal gland? To be able to manifest the life of your dreams, you have to unlock these mechanisms, and in 3 minutes I will give you the possibility to do so. Returning to the story of Khazar, I could only stay 2 more months in that amazing place. My savings ran out and I had no choice but to go home. As a last farewell gift, Charles gave me the frequencies on cassette from the CIA's Gateway experiment, to synchronize the brain hemispheres and match the vibration with that of the Earth. He also gave me the audios created by NASA to stimulate the pineal gland. He told me that I could never contact him again. I had to forget about him, because if the government found out what he had done, we could end up in jail, or even much worse. According to him, there are very powerful people who do not benefit from this secret being revealed to the public. This information is classified as military intelligence, information that has been and will be used as a weapon of control for governments. They are willing to kill to keep this secret, so use it very carefully. Those were Charles' last words to me. At this point, you will understand why I could not reveal my real name to you at the beginning of the presentation. When I returned home, amazing things happened. It was something inexplicable. It was as if the universe guided me or indicated what to do to have what I had manifested in Khazar. For a long time, I had the feeling of wanting to share these audios with more people, but I couldn't fail Charles. The risk we both ran was quite high. It would be 3.5 years after my experience in Khazar, when a very mysterious envelope arrived at my house. Afraid I read it. The envelope contained the following message: "No matter the consequences, reveal everything. Charles." I never knew how Charles managed to find out where my house was, but there is no doubt that it was definitely him. From the day I received the letter, I set myself the purpose of life to help eradicate suffering from the world. It would be selfish and mean to have information that can help millions of people, and not reveal it for fear of the consequences. My goal with this presentation is to give you the frequencies and meditations that allowed me, Charles, and a select group of people to eliminate loneliness, scarcity, fear, disease, and poverty. To start having stronger and more rewarding relationships, greater economic abundance, and a healthy lifestyle. These frequencies have proven to be the key to removing the energy blocks that have prevented you from manifesting the life you want. This is the missing ingredient, that the law of attraction needs to actually work. Do you understand now why this could be the revelation of the century? Einstein once said that the medicine of the future will be the medicine of frequencies, and I totally agree with him. More and more science shows that mental disorders in many cases are caused by alterations in the brain's biochemistry. The data from the scientific literature suggest that certain frequencies may have therapeutic potential in balancing brain neurotransmitters. I don't know if you knew this, but science has shown that the lower the frequency of the body, the higher the probability of suffering from diseases. When I decided to share this knowledge, at first I was afraid that people would take me as a crazy person. At first, I started sharing these frequencies with friends and family, and those who decided to take a leap of faith. The people who trusted me, and had an open mind to try this method, started having amazing results. As the news spread, more and more people came asking for my help. That's why I decided to make this knowledge available to more people by publishing it on the internet. But knowing that they will soon manage to take this page off the web. Before I give you the frequencies of the Gateway experiment, and the NASA frequencies, you must absolutely guarantee that you will follow these two simple rules. First, if you really want to have access to these hidden principles of manifestation, you must promise me that they will only be used for moral and ethical purposes. These methods must never be used to harm, injure or support malicious causes. Second, if you want to experience real change, then you must be part of those who actually take action, following the method step by step. Now I have to be honest with you. Unfortunately, I can't share these mystical and hidden principles with everyone. I try not to draw attention, and I know I'm taking huge risks by revealing this information. That's why this video will be online only for a very short period of time. In other words, once I reach the maximum limit of 150 candidates, this video will be programmed to be removed from the internet forever. What I offer you today is classified knowledge that only the United States military intelligence and NASA possess. Raising my consciousness allowed me to find economic, emotional and sentimental security, thanks to the power of materialization. Now I imagine that you will want to know how it works. To release the flow of energy, abundance and prosperity in your life, you must correctly synchronize your brain hemispheres and your pineal gland. In addition to eliminating the traumas that prevent your vibrations from flowing properly. I know you are excited to start, but I must warn you that doing it without a precise plan would be like looking for the exit of a maze. That's why I decided to compile the step-by-step of what I learned on my trip to Khazar, in a training titled, Alpha Neuroprogramming. This is a training that consists of 7 phases. Phase 1, Detachment. In this stage, the frequencies that I will give you will not completely eliminate negative emotions, but rather transform them into a new form of energy. Nothing will stop the powerful feeling of security and love that will envelop you. Phase 2, Harmonization. From this moment on, you will start a journey to synchronize your brain hemispheres, which will allow you to enter a vibratory state by aligning your vibration to the frequency of the Earth. Your brain waves will start to emit a frequency between 6.8 and 7.5 Hz. Harmony, peace and tranquility will be present day and night. You will feel that everything flows suspiciously well. Phase 3, Decalcification and Stimulation. As you begin to stimulate the pineal gland, your sleep state will improve significantly. You will be more sensitive to the vibrations of nature and animals. By fixing your natural antenna, the signals that the universe has for you will begin to intensify. So don't resist what happens. This is part of awakening the third eye. Phase 4, Perception. You will start to have lucid dreams, constant déjà vus, and out-of-body experiences. Don't worry if you start to feel things, it's part of the process. Trust what the divine source has prepared for you. Likewise, your ego will decrease, also, your perception of the world will expand, and the illusions of this material world will crumble. Phase 5, Visualization. Your consciousness will expand to unimaginable levels. Manifestations will begin to occur naturally. At first the universe will give you what you need, then it will give you what you want. Abundance, love and financial tranquility are close. Phase 6, Intuition. By stimulating the pineal gland, your intuition will sharpen. At this point you will understand that intuitions are the natural way that the universe has to guide you to fulfill your desires. In this part the universe will not hand you what you want, it will guide you and give you signs to motivate you to take action and get closer to your deepest desires. Here you must keep in mind that without action, nothing will happen. Phase 7, Ascension. Bioenergy will flow through your whole body and inexplicable things will happen. For now I can't tell you more, as it depends on you to discover what happens in this stage. The training, in addition to giving you access to the frequencies classified by the CIA and NASA, will provide you with guidance to maximize your results. With this guidance, you will learn how the brain works, in order to channel it towards manifesting the economic and spiritual abundance that you want. You will also learn how to condition your mental programs, which are contaminated by default. Do you remember what I said about epigenetics? As if that were not enough, I will teach you how to interpret the signs of the universe and the divine source. Many times, these signs manifest themselves through signs, and if you are able to interpret them correctly, the chances of getting on track to fulfill your manifestations increase tremendously. With this program you will understand that you do not need to read extensive books, take courses, or attend seminars. All you have to do is listen. Let the sound do its work. Without any effort, the universe will do the work for you. And what does the program include? First, the program includes a basic training, where you will work on the 3 learning channels, auditory, visual, kinesthetic, with the aim that the information is lodged in the unconscious and you can translate it more easily into your life. With imperceptible binaural sounds I will alter your brain waves to make it easier to reach the alpha brain state. In the training I will teach you what this is. For now, I will tell you that studies show that achieving these states improve learning ability, memory, visualization, creativity, and concentration. Our auditory system works constantly, and even if we are asleep, we will take this new information directly to our brain consciously, to focus on the things that are useful for our process. Basically, this simple training aims to help you eliminate and enhance internal conversations, design new habits, purify paradigms and limiting beliefs, get to know your bio software, among other things, that for now I will keep in order to motivate you to take action. Second, you will have exclusive access to the audios of the Gateway experiment created by the CIA. This is the most amazing gift that I will be giving you. Once you manage to synchronize your brain hemispheres, and manage to match your brain waves with the frequencies of the Earth, your bioenergy will be released at enormous levels. You will start to see that, more easily, those desires that you saw as impossible, begin to become possible. Third, thanks to the NASA experiments, you will finally be able to stimulate your pineal gland. By combining scalar energy techniques with lithotripsy, a sound frequency is created that helps to decalcify and stimulate the pineal gland in a localized way, without damaging other parts of the brain. The pineal gland functions as an antenna that sends and receives frequencies. When stimulated, interference disappears. The power and speed with which abundance manifestations are sent to the universe are increased. You will never feel again that the universe is not listening to your desires. Now, what is special about these frequencies? Is it possible to find them on YouTube or elsewhere on the internet? The answer is no. They are audios classified as a military intelligence weapon, which are not available to the public. Sound engineers have shown that if these frequencies ever become available on the internet on YouTube, they will never retain the original frequency, not even a tenth of it. Usually the frequencies found on the web, such as those on YouTube, are formats that tend to be in MP3 or MP4. This type of format has a big drawback, and that is that it tends to fractionate the sound. It is confirmed that these frequencies, when not listened to in their full amplitude, do not bring the desired results. This explains why possibly, the sounds that you usually find on the internet or on YouTube about the Tesla frequencies, the binaural sounds, and more audios of this style are not working or bringing you results. The frequencies that I will give you are in a format with a technology based on artificial intelligence, where the sound will be continuous and never fragmented, thus increasing your results 10 times more. Today I am certain about something. If you are one of those who has come this far, you are one of those who really take action. But you should know that without the help of this training, your path to spiritual realization, prosperity, and abundance can take much longer than expected. Do you really want to wait years to see results, or will you decide to do something different, and start seeing results in a few hours? I know you have made a great effort to listen to me and I thank you sincerely. For that reason, in addition to the training and the main audios from the CIA and NASA, I want to give you a series of bonuses. But wait, in moments, a button will appear below this video, so you can start experiencing the changes you need. The first bonus is a series of sounds and meditations that will help open your 7 chakras, so that bioenergy flows more intensely. It's all about opening your 7 chakras, the energy hubs of your body. Imagine feeling like a well-oiled machine, energy flowing like a powerful river. From the moment you open your eyes till you hit the pillow, each of them has a specific energy that deserves to be in perfect harmony. This energy flows from top to bottom through the spine. It is important to take care of this area of the body because this is where this energetic connection is regulated. The second bonus is a manual where I explain in detail what the Gateway project consisted of. This book will reveal things related to the physical holograms of this reality, astral planes. Among other things, this guide takes you on a mind-expanding journey, making the abstract tangible, the mystical logical. Uncover the profound layers of your reality and beyond, a metaphysical odyssey awaits. The third bonus will be a manual that will teach you how to manifest and visualize correctly. This guide is the missing pinch that is not present in the book, The Secret. This manual offers a dynamic blueprint to perfectly visualize and manifest your desires. Imagine crystallizing dreams into reality, transforming fleeting thoughts into tangible success. Envision your goals, not as distant stars, but as within arm's reach. This guide is the catalyst that fuels your transformation from dreamer to achiever. Empower yourself, shape your destiny, and make the universe your ally. The secret is out, it's time to embrace your potential. The fourth bonus that I will give you will be a manual called Signals. A manual that will teach you how to interpret the signs and messages that the universe sends you. This extraordinary guide unveils 15 hidden, often counterintuitive signs, empowering you to tap into the universe's subtle messages. Imagine reading life like a book, understanding every symbol, every hint with ease. From a fleeting synchronicity to an unexpected event, nothing will seem random again. Prepare for delightful surprises as you decode the cosmic code, transforming the mystifying into the enlightening. The universe is speaking. Are you ready to listen? The fifth bonus is a dive into an ethereal realm with theta waves of astral projection, your sonic passport to out-of-body experiences. This bonus unveils the transformative power of theta waves, a unique frequency inviting you to transcend physical confines. Imagine liberating your consciousness, exploring unseen dimensions while comfortably nestled at home. Like a lucid dream, but more vivid, more immersive. With these sonic keys, you're not just existing, but evolving, shifting from a terrestrial being to an astral voyager. Elevate your experiences, transcend your limitations, the cosmos awaits your arrival. The sixth bonus is called Unlock Classified Truths with the Complete Gateway Files, an unprecedented collection of original, even yet to be declassified CIA reports on the Gateway Project. Step into an exclusive circle of privacy to revelations so potent, they promise to reshape this century's narrative. This isn't just a bonus, it's a key to a hidden vault of secrets shared by Charles, secrets too sensitive for public exposure. Imagine holding the future's most fascinating revelations in your hands today. Prepare to be the keeper of truths that will astound generations. Welcome to the inner circle. Rest assured, within a few years this classified truth will be one of the most fascinating revelations of the century. These last 6 bonuses could have a market value of more than $1,769, but today you will take them completely free. With everything I will give you, you will not need more. You will have everything you need to embark on a spiritual life full of abundance, wealth, health and love. Why wait months or years to manifest your best life, when there is no need to wait? Now I want to ask you a question. How much would you be willing to pay to enjoy total financial and spiritual freedom? Wouldn't you pay at least $2,000? You can rest assured that today I will not ask you for $2,000, not even $500. I am doing everything possible to make sure that those who are lucky enough to enter this unique program are permanently safe. And that's why I decided to offer you the training at just a fraction of its value. From this moment on, you will find a button below this video that will allow you to start experiencing the changes you need. So, click it. If you also want to hear about the satisfaction guarantee that I will provide, stay a little longer. The truth is, the price I will give you is not even close to what it should really cost, considering that it is information that less than 1% of the Earth's population knows. This information could be quite expensive. I'm not looking to get rich from this. I'm not here to profit. Today I decided to put a relatively low price on the training, just to allow me to cover the hosting costs on the web, and the advertising costs on social networks, which by the way are increasingly expensive. It is very important that you understand that my motive is not to profit, but to help. I want to be the bridge to make this world a better place. Literally, for the same price of a romantic date for 2 people in a nice restaurant, with appetizer, main course and dessert, you will have access to a training that will help you transform the pain that you are currently experiencing, into your greatest source of financial and spiritual abundance. All I'm asking for is a one-time payment, for the price you'll find below this video. Along with the price, you can see a button that takes you to a secure payment page, where you can choose how to make the investment, and you will receive immediate access to the training. I can't leave this information for free on the internet. By making it paid, I will have control over who can and who cannot access these secrets. I remind you that only a limited number of people will have access to these secrets. As I had mentioned, as soon as the program reaches the number of 47 candidates, this video is scheduled to be removed from the web. So possibly, this may happens when you exit the matrix. Pay close attention, the end is astonishing. When you are in the process of awakening, you will realize that everything around you is an illusion in which you have been trapped for many years, something quite strong.